If you've never changed the grips on your motorcycle, you might think it's a little bit of a daunting task. Well, the truth is, it's extremely simple, and we're going to show you how to do that with a couple different sets of grips. Now, before we jump in, I do want to let you guys know that there are several types of grips, so before you order yours, take a look at what styling you're going to want and what items you're going to need. For example, you can go ahead and pick up a clamp-on style system, which uses two mounting brackets, one on each end, which actually just clamps down to the handlebar itself. That way you can actually take these off and reuse these if you guys like changing up the style of your motorcycle or whatever your machine is. Now, if you want to go with a traditional glue-on style, these are a little harder to save. In fact, odds are if you put a glue-on style on, you are not going to be able to get it off to reuse it down the road. So keep that in mind when purchasing your grips, that if you go with a glue-on style, this is going to be on there for quite some time. The next step to take a look at when ordering grips is, do your grips come with an installed throttle tube? If they do, take a look at these Avon heated grips here. The throttle tube is already installed. There's no repositioning it. It's just plug it in, install it, and down the road you go. Now, when you guys take your old existing grips off, you may be able to save your existing throttle tube. If not, or if you lose yours or it's broken, don't worry, these things are not terribly expensive. Feel free to pick one up with your order as well. If you are able to save yours, great. Just remember reminding when you guys do take your old grips off to make sure that you get all that old glue, oil, just all that residue from the old grips. Go ahead and take a piece of sandpaper and sand that all down so it's just bare metal for the new grips. So once you go ahead and decide what style of grips we're going to put on here, today we're going to use the traditional glue-on style grips. There's a couple different things that we need to take care of. Now, first off, if you take a closer look at these, you can see that these grips are waffled on the end here, which means that your fingers are designed to go right on the edge there. Now, what we need to do is on the throttle tube, we need to make sure that we install this in the right position. That way, once the throttle tube is on, the grips themselves are going to sit in the right spot. And the easiest way to do that is to simply set the throttle tube back on the handlebar itself and line it up to where it should be for when the throttle is all installed, ready to go. Now, after you have that all pre-set up, ready to go, just take the existing grip or the new grip and just measure out where it needs to sit in order to have that waffled finger area in the front. In this course, we're going to have to set it up just like that. So after we have it figured out where it needs to be, the most important part of installing our grips is to take that throttle tube back off. The last thing we want to do is get glue inside the throttle housing itself, and that way, super glue the throttle either all the way open or all the way shut. That's a nightmare you guys do not want to go through. So after we go ahead and have that mounted and measured where we want to have it at, have our throttle tube back off, what we're going to do is just take our super glue. Some grips come with it, some grips do not. And all we have to do is put a little bit of super glue down the interior lining of that grip. Now, after we have super glue in there, now just to let you know I am not doing this, so I have a little more time to demonstrate what I'm doing here. Now, after the glue's in there, just start working it around a little bit. That way, the glue gets everywhere, we get it worked in, and we don't have to worry about something not holding right. So we're going to go ahead and do that for a couple minutes here, and just let that set up and start getting just a little bit tacky. Now, the next most important part, like I said, make sure you have all the residue from your old grips off of the throttle tube or off of the handlebar, depending what you're gluing to. Now, like we said, we're actually going to have this so the throttle housing is up, so make sure our waffle housing is in the front here. So it needs to go on just like that. Now, what you guys can do if you have a little bit of difficulty is poke a hole in the very end of your grip there. What that's going to allow you to do is all the air that's stuck inside the grip is going to be able to escape out the back there. That way, this grip's going to go on a lot easier. But then all we have to do is just simply slide it on, give it a little twist as it goes on too, and just slide it on with the glue on there. All right, so that way we've gone ahead and we've installed the grip here. Now, once again, we have our throttle housing on the front or on the top here. The waffle grips are on the front. That way everything is ready to go. And that's all you have to do to put the grips on the throttle side. Now, once you go ahead and mount everything back up here, it's going to hold itself in place, be tight, and down the road you can go. Now, for the other side, it's even easier. Once again, just take our super glue, add super glue to the inside here. Once again, feel free to poke a hole in here to let out some of that air escape. And once again, just kind of work it around a little bit until you get it all worked in there. And this one is a lot easier. Because we don't have to worry about the throttle tube housing, all we have to do is start sliding it on. Give it a twist as it goes down, just to kind of work the glue around even a little bit more. And just keep it going down until all that knurling is covered. And once that glue sets, I recommend giving it about 6 hours. I do not recommend changing the grips the day of the track. Do it about the day before you guys head to the track or you guys go out riding. But give it some time to set up, 6 to 8 hours to set up, and your grips are ready to go down the road. Once again, if you guys order any grip products from Dennis Kirk, we ship them out the same day.
For more information on the products featured here, please head to our website, denniskirk.com.